on, guys? Another breakdown for UFC Vegas 46. This one's on the main card. We got Chase Sherman taking on Jake Collier. About even on reach, about even on height. Sherman's going to be 1 inch taller, or 1 inch taller, excuse me. And this is a fight that I am not betting on. I'll just tell you right away. But I'll start with Chase Sherman. Very disappointing his last outing, honestly, against Parker Porter. Chase Sherman, one of two vanilla gorillas in the UFC, needs to be noted. But yeah, very disappointing performance against Parker Porter, man. He was a 2-1 favorite in that one, and he has a good first round. You know, I would say the most important aspect to Sherman's game, or one of, is his low kicks. He's got very good low kicks, and he was working them well in that one. I think the commentators were, giving him a little too much credit, acting like Porter was immobilized, but he seemed to handle them well. But they were landing, and Porter did check a couple, landed a couple of his own, seemed to kind of win the leg kick war. But yeah, Chase Sherman low kicks are good. He's got good counter left, very good counter left. He lands that a lot. He's pretty good in a phone booth, at least with returning fire. But yeah, his cardio is all right. It's not great. He's gassed out in his last couple fights, but he has a very high output. That's kind of why. Former football player, offensive lineman. He looks like he's in pretty good shape for heavyweight, but his cardio does kind of abandon him sometimes. I would give him the cardio edge. But yeah, in that Porter fight, man, when he gets tired, he just doesn't move his head at all. He's got full-on fake head movement where he just moves his head around, and you know exactly where his head's going. You can just keep touching with that jab. And he leaves his chin straight up when he falls back. It's not good. If Jake Collier can land one of these head kicks, which he's yet to really land one clean as a heavyweight, but if he does land one of those while Chase Sherman is going back, he's going to go to sleep 100%. That's how you get knocked out cold. But yeah, like I said, he does return fire well when he does that. But once he gets tired, man, he just stops moving his head. Jab lands all day, and his body language just really has betrayed him in these last two fights. Like, you can tell that he's toast at the end of the first round. And he did get taken down, or he tripped, and Porter ended up on top, and Sherman struggled to get up. But I don't know if that is what abandoned his cardio or led his cardio to abandon him, but it was gone, man. He was totally gassed. His body language was gone. His head movement was gone. He's just getting tagged. Kind of similar against Andre Arlovski. Fights a very good first round. I think he gave it to Sherman. Competitive, but Sherman landed a big combination, about 8 unanswered heavy strikes. Had him up against the fence, and I would say that would give him the first round. But then Arlovski has really reinvented his game, man. I know he's old, but he's like a different fighter in his late in his career, and he's a very good counter striker, good boxer, and he was really working the body well. It was fast, it was tough to really see, but he was in and out well, and he just managed to pull ahead on the scorecard. Sherman slowed down. Arlovski wins. He did work in some clinch work too, I think, at good moments to kind of stop onslaughts from Sherman, sap that gas tank. So I don't know if Collier's really going to do that. He kind of likes to be like a kickboxer, but we'll see. We've seen grappling or clinch work can slow Sherman down. Before that, though, the leg kick works really well against Ike Villanueva. It immobilizes him. He walks him down, knocks him out. Really good performance there. Chase Sherman, like we went over, he's got good counters. Good at fighting in the phone booth, at least with the turning fire, but he does leave that head straight up, chin straight up there. If somebody has good enough power, they'll definitely get that knockout. Like, if this was Chase Sherman versus Tom Aspinall, I would put so much money on Tom Aspinall by knockout, or just somebody like that. Even Chris Dock is somebody I think is going to really capitalize on that if Sherman wins this fight and he's still around for a while. But yeah, it's a little tricky because the body language has betrayed him, and the defense concerns me. But at the same time, give him the edge and power for this fight. Give him the edge and cardio, even though his cardio is not great, and it hasn't been great of late. I think it's better than Collier's, though. And I think the counter striking, I would go to Sherman. But, yeah. And then for Jake Collier, former middleweight, and you can tell by the way he fights that he used to fight at middleweight, throws a decent amount of kicks. He'll throw in some head kicks, and you can tell, again, that he used to be a middleweight because they're just quick. But he mixes it up well. He seems to go to the low kicks a lot early. Not a ton of power on them, but he has a good volume of them. He's got a very good 1-2, very stiff jab. And he's got some skill, man. When he came in and just got KO'd by Tom Aspinall, it was his first fight in 3 years. He was at heavyweight gained all this weight. He did have an injury, so I guess he wasn't out. He was out for a while, and yeah, I guess he just gained weight in that time period. But he just gets KO'd immediately by Tom Aspinall, and like you just think, all right, well, is this guy even going to be around long? Then he comes back against Jean Vellante, and granted, Jean Vellante no longer with the UFC. He had a bad run at the end, but he pretty much dominated that fight. Or let's say this, he dominated the first round. And then he slowed down the second and third significantly. I would still give him those rounds, but he wasn't doing a ton. Vellante was literally just doing nothing, basically. So, yeah, he does win that one, but it's kind of become a theme with him. He'll have a really good first round, mixes it up well. He's a very dynamic striker. He'll go body kicks, mostly 1-2s, but body kicks, low kicks, head kicks, spinning attacks. Sometimes he'll advise when he's tired, but he works all these things in. He's not a predictable guy, and he moves pretty well until he slows down. But he has slowed down just about all of his fights. Same deal against Carlos Felipe. He wins the first round. Second round's close. I think you give it to Felipe ever so slightly. Just landed the heavier shots. Had some more extended combinations, but he wasn't completely dead. I remember watching that fight. I did bet on it. I bet Carlos Felipe for this reason, because Collier slows down after the first round and Felipe tends to pick it up. But it was close, man. I went back and watched it this week, and it was closer than I thought. Collier was more competitive than I thought, but it's just the body language. He's looking up at the clock, like, just get me the fuck out of here. Just looked absolutely exhausted. It's not good. Not good to see at all. Both these guys have body language and fight IQ issues sometimes, which is why I'm just not betting on this fight. But I would say technically, Jay Collier, decent skill set. And at middleweight, he had a decent run before he got hurt. Took out some guys who were well respected at the time. Alberto Uda, Ricardo Abreu. So, it's been a mixed bag for him. But at heavyweight, he's shown some level of technical skill. It's just the cardio, man. It really kills him. I will say in the Carlos Felipe fight, he was working these really good body shots that I think slowed him down significantly. It was kind of like what Arlovsky did to Sherman. But, yeah, Felipe probably landed at least like 10, 15 hooks to the body. Really slowed him down. So he slows down anyway, but I think that just accelerated it. And maybe if Felipe didn't invest in the body just a little bit in the first round, maybe Collier has just enough gas left to steal that second round. Because it was close, if he just was able to land a flurry, he could have stolen that round. But yeah, he doesn't have the best defense either. Body shots really seem to take a toll on him. It's got to be noted that he gained all that weight, so we just don't know, if he's ever going to be the same, like mentally or like even physically. Just because he fights like he's still 185, and sometimes it's to his detriment because he's really tired, and he'll just throw like a spinning back fist, and it's just like, well, you're already tired, now you're really tired. But yeah, it's mainly just the slowing down that's such a concern with Collier, and the lack of power. But that jab is really stiff, and with Sherman's head movement, I could see that being a recipe for a lot of success with Collier, just working off that jab. And so for this fight, man, we got Collier at minus 132. Chase Sherman come back at plus 108. Really cannot pick a side in this one. So many fights got canceled on this card, so I figured I'd just do videos for fights that I'm not necessarily going to break down. Bet on, just give my input on them, because I did do the research. But I'm going to go with Collier ever so slightly, only because I think he's got a little bit more technical skill. But at the same time, Sherman, if he just invests in that leg kick early, I think Sherman's got high output himself. If it really could just be a battle of who slows down more in rounds 2 and 3. But I just think that Collier's going to win the first round. It'll be close because Sherman has good output, but I think that Collier is just a little bit better at being in and out. He doesn't necessarily sit down in the pocket, which is what Parker Porter was doing, allowing Chase Sherman to land a lot more than I think he would have in that fight. But I think if Collier can just be in and out, he's got way better head movement. Forgot to note that, but he's got way better head movement. So I think he can kind of stay out of the way of that counter left. He's going to get hit by it, but I don't think it's going to sway the fight. And I think Collier can just slightly outland him, win these exchanges, and yeah, if gun to my head, I would go with Collier, but I think it's just going to be a no play for me. No play on the DraftKings or FanDuel lineups either, which I will have a video for that on Thursday or Friday. Got it all set up and looking forward to do that. But yeah, Jake Collier, ever so slightly. Surprises me that 73% on Tapology are going with Chase Sherman. I thought this one would be like 50-50, but whatever, man. It's very possible that Chase Sherman wins. If you look at it as a dog or pass situation, that's probably what I would do. But again, I just think that there's better betting spots on this card, and it's going to be a no play for me. But I do like Jake Collier. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe. Oh, and one other thing. My bets will now be tracked with Bet Tip MMA. Set it up, start entering my bets this week. So, yeah, look out for that. It's the same deal, but it'll just be independently tracked. So you can go on there and check it. So, thanks for watching, guys. Sure to subscribe and take it easy.